guys, this is Maria, and it's Christmas time, and that means tamale time. And so Christmas would just not be Christmas without making some tamales. So I'm going to show you today an easy way how to make them. Okay, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some green chili salsa. I get the enchilada sauce. Actually, this is the first time I'm going to try this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to work, okay? Usually I've made the chili homemade using all the different chili pods, but this time I want to make them really simple, all right? So the Las Palmas green chili enchilada sauce, I get the mild, but it also comes in medium and hot. And you're going to need some olives. The olives are optional. My mother used to put an olive in each tamale, and it was sort of a surprise for us kids. You're going to need some of these corn husks. So these are called corn husk, or in Spanish, the hojas, which hojas means leaf, the leaf of the corn. And so also, this is sort of optional here. I've made these before. These are going to be a little bit different. So this is going to be one kind of tamale, the one with the green salsa. And you can also use like Campbell's cream of chicken soup. And what I do is I use a bag of frozen vegetables and I add it to my to the soup. And then I go ahead and mix the chicken with that. And they're really delicious. So if I have time, I'm going to make those. Okay, you're also going to need some chicken, okay? Because, or beef or pork, but I like the chicken tamales. And these are just the frozen bag of chicken, the chicken tenderloins that I get over at our Sam's Club. Or you can get them at your local grocery store. And basically, I just cook this in a big pot and just put some water in it and just basically boiled it, and I set it on low and I let it cook for like 2 hours and just keep watching it. So as the water evaporates, you want to add a little bit more because you don't want it to burn. But basically I want it to be really soft so I can tear it apart, and it looks like this, okay? This in here, it doesn't look like a lot, but it really is. It's a bag and a half of this. The masa. Masa is cornmeal, and that's what you're going to be spreading on the corn husk, okay? It's the doughy stuff that goes on the corn husk, and then you're going to put your filling inside. The masa, I buy it prepared. At our store at Cardenas, it's already prepared there, and they're making it right there where you can see them. And it's pretty inexpensive. I paid $7.86 for 8 pounds. And so I'm not really quite sure how many tamales I'll get out of this, but we'll find out. So, okay, so you might want to check with your store. If you have a store that sells a lot of Mexican products, groceries, then you should have no problem finding it. Otherwise, you can make it from scratch. They sell it in bags where it's dry. My mother used to do it that way. And you're going to need to buy a tamale pot, okay? It's basically a steamer. And I got this one also at our Mexican grocery store last night at Cardenas. It was like $20. They come in different sizes, and the reason you want this is because, you see, I still have to wash this out before I use it. You get this steamer rack on the bottom, and you're going to set your tamales on top. Also going to need a smaller pot to put your chili mixture in. So we're going to get started. And so these are my corn husks, my hojas, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak them because we need to soften them, all right? And so, okay, so I'm just going to fill this up with, okay, so I'm just going to fill up the sink with warm water, and I'm going to open these up. And once I open these up, you're going to see how they expand. And, whoops. Okay, and you're just going to dump them into the sink. Make sure you wash your sink out with soap. You want it to be really clean. And so you can just start pulling them apart a little bit here. And we're going to let them soak for about, let's let them soak for about 15 minutes, just so they're like soft and you can work with them. Okay, you can see this is just one package of the corn husk, and you can see how they really just sponge out. And this used to be my job when I was a kid and when I was little. And my mother gave me this job where I was to soak them and clean them. Back then there used to be more of the silk from the corn husk, but today the way they package them, there's hardly any of that, so you don't have to worry about that mess. So you can see these have been soaking for about, I think for about 3 minutes. My husband is holding the camera. That's Joey. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
And so this is the first time we're ever making tamales together. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So we're letting them soak. We're going to let them soak maybe another 5 minutes. So I would say maybe let them soak for about 10 minutes. You can see how soft they are. And then we're going to spread them with the masa. Okay, so I really like this consistency. I went ahead and tested it out on one of the leaves. And so you can see that it spreads really nicely on here, okay? And so the masa is ready. We're going to set that aside. And I'm going to rinse my hands. Take that off. And here are the husks, the corn husk, and you can see they're already really nice and soft and bendable. And so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze the water out. Just take a whole bunch of them like this and squeeze the water out. And then I'm going to put them in a bowl because we're going to put them on the table and we want to have them handy so we could just reach for them. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the husk in here, the wet husk. And so going to squeeze the water out and go ahead and just put them in there. And so today is going by really fast. It's just a few more days till Christmas and we had a really busy day. And so it's already almost evening and we're running out of daylight. So in my house, tamale making was on Christmas Eve. And they usually weren't ready, completely cooked until about midnight. Okay, there we go. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're coming over to the stove, and I'm going to turn on this burner, and I'm going to do about medium heat, and I'm going to take the Las Palmas enchilada sauce. This is green chili enchilada sauce. It's mild, and I'm going to pour it in here, just like that. And I'm going to try 2 cans. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need, but let's go ahead and try 2. So then I'm going to take my chicken that I cooked and shredded last night, and I'm going to start putting it in here because we're making the filling. Okay, that looks really, really good. I'm turning on the light here so you can get a better look. So we have our corn husks right here. We have our chili mixture. I have the olives right here. We're going to put 1 olive in each tamale. You don't have to do that. That's optional. And then I already have some of the leaves here, some of the corn husks with the masa. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to grab a corn husk, and I'll get one about that size. And so if it's torn or whatever, don't worry about it, okay? I mean, I could take that off and use it for something else. You're just going to get some masa. I got it on the bottom of the spoon because it's easier because it needs to come right off, okay? And you're just going to start spreading it toward you. Don't worry if you make a mess. You can clean up your mess on the table. I mean, I've been known to be a really messy person when I do this. And so there we go. And then I'm just going to flip it around and I'm going to spread it, the masa, the other way, okay? And so it's that simple. And you don't want it too thick, but you don't want it too thin either. And I like my masa just when it's cooked a little thicker, but you can see, if you can see the consistency on here, it's not too thick, not too thin. Okay, so there we go. So that's how you spread the masa. That's simple, okay? And then if you have several people helping you, it'll go really fast. So it's going to be my husband and I, but usually it's my sisters and I and my nieces. And when I was growing up, we had a big family, and so a lot of families would come together and friends, and it would be called a tamalera. And so there's a lot of talking going on, a lot of laughing. It's just a lot of fun, okay? So this is what we're going to do. This one, you can see, is not that large, and so I need to get another one. And so I have another one, smaller one, well, about the same size, but you can use different ones. And you put them together, so don't worry if the corn husk is not as big as some of the others, okay? You could just put them together. In fact, you could even put a little bit more masa right there. Covers that line. And then we have our chili mixture here. Whoops. And you're going to put some chili mixture right there in the middle. And you're going to get 1 olive, and again, that's optional. So it's going to look like that. You're going to fold it over and fold it over that way. And then you're going to bring the bottom end up. You don't want to put too much chili mixture, but you don't want to be chintzy either because it will ooze out of the top. Now, if you want to, you can tear, let me show you how I do this. You can make these little ties just by tearing the corn husks. And it tears really easily when it's wet. And so you can fold it up and you can tie them off if you want, but it's not necessary. My mother used to tie them off, but honestly it's not necessary. So you can do that, but like I said, you don't have to. And then I'm going to set it, you can see I have the steamer down here, and you're going to start putting them in a circle. Okay, you're just going to work your way around. You want to make sure you keep this middle open because you're going to have to pour some water. Okay, so we finished using the masa to make the green chili tamales. And Joey, did we get about 3 dozen, I think? So we got about 3 dozen out of that 7 or what was it, 8 pounds of masa or something. And so it doesn't sound like that much, but there really is quite a bit. And so I may have made them a little too big. So we went back to the store, got about 5 more pounds of masa. So I decided to go ahead and make the cream of chicken ones. And so, Joey, can you get this inside in the pot? So I have my chicken cooking. So there's chicken cooking in this pot. And as soon as that's done, I'm going to go ahead and shred that. And I've got 2 cans of cream of chicken. I didn't quite fill up the can with the water, so I would say it's almost full, you can see. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that. And so I have my whisk, and I'm just mixing it in. I don't want to make it too thin, and so you can see it's thickening up there. And so you want it to be more like a thick gravy. And so I'm going to add the other one, and I'm doing this one a little slower. I thought I probably put a little bit too much of the Las Palmas chili in the other tamales, but I think they'll still work out. So you might not want to put the full 2 cans in. So this is looking really good. What do you think, Joey?
Looks good to me.
It's really good. And so I think that's the only, I don't think I'm going to put all of that water in. I kind of like it like that. And I want it to get thick. So I'm going to let it sort of just bubble a little bit. The other thing is, I have a bag of vegetables, the mixed veggies, and so I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in. Okay, just like that. And so basically you're making like, kind of like a chicken pot pie filling. I have some more veggies if I wanted to add more. I have like a bag of corn or something. But anyways, it's up to you. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a lid on the pot and let that simmer and let the vegetables steam in there so they're nice and soft. Okay, so we brought the masa home and we put it in the bowl, and we realized it wasn't of the same consistency as the last batch. So that's what I'm talking about. But I had thrown away already the chicken broth. So we are using warm water, and I think that will be fine too. So far, how many tablespoons have we put in, Joey?
10.
10 or 12, something like that?
Maybe.
And so we're just doing it one at a time. Okay, just like that. And so, and it's starting to have the same consistency as the other one. What do you think, Joey? Is it starting to look better?
Looking good.
Okay, and I want to show you. Can you get a close-up of this, Joey? Okay, what I did was I went ahead and spread it on one of the corn husks, and you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like too doughy, like almost like Play-Doh, and so I didn't like that. And so we went ahead and just started with the water. And what I did was I took water, just heated it up in the microwave for like a minute, and so the water is warm as it's going onto the dough, and it's starting to look better. So anyways, and then we're just working the dough. So if that happens, you can just do that. But remember, just add 1 tablespoon at a time. Okay, here's the cream of chicken mixture that I made. So it's just the chicken, the cream of chicken soup, and the veggies. I added a little bit more of the frozen corn in here, but it looks really good. And you can see that the soup is really thick here. So I really like the way that turned out. And so there's my hubby. He's spreading the masa. And so I don't know, how many tablespoons of water do you think we added, Joey? About 14?
15 or 16. Really.
15 or 16 to get it to the consistency that we wanted. And so there's the masa. So it is looking better. And there are the corn husks. We're still working with the same bag, so I don't think we're going to need that second bag. So, okay, we're almost there. Okay, so we're almost done, and so I went ahead and got the cheesecloth at our local grocery store. It was like $4.99, something like that. It was a little expensive, but I got two, but I think I'm only going to need one. First of all, I have to tell you my sister is here, and she came just in time because I had a question for her because it's been a long time since I've done this part. So, but anyways, so she said cut the cheesecloth in half, right, Sylvia? Correct. This is Sylvia, my sister. She just made her tamales yesterday. How many pounds did you make, Sylvia? How
30.
Many 30 pounds. And how many dozens of tamales did you get out of that?
12.
12 dozens. So, and it's a lot of work, and she had 4 helpers, so that was very helpful to her. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the cheesecloth on top, and then we're going to put some of these hojas, the corn husks, on top of that. And that's to retain the steam inside the pot so they cook. Okay? And then we're going to put some water in. So Joey, you want to take a shot of inside the pot? Okay, so we got, this is how many we got. And you can see how we just sort of stacked them. I started on one end and just started working around. And they sort of flip-flop around, so you sort of have to work, and so just sort of push them here and there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put some hot water. I went ahead and used the hot water from the tap because it was pretty hot. And so, but if you want, you can go ahead and heat it up on your stove also, but just be very careful not to burn yourself. Okay, so my husband is going to get the pot of hot water. Okay. And there's my sister Sylvia. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, and so let me show you the pot. So there it is. And so go ahead, carefully pour it in, Joey. And it's okay if you get tamales a little wet, if you splash a little bit. So you want to leave that center open. And what I should have done first, my sister said I should have measured the water to see how high it would go. Because she also flooded her pot, she said. Okay, so how does it look now, Joey? It's kind of hard for me to see since I have the camera here.
Yeah, I still need more.
Okay, my sister says we still need more. Boy, talk about perfect timing. She had just gone to bingo. Oh, can I say that where you were?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. She had just gone to bingo and she stopped by and
sorry.
it's perfect.
Way better, way better.
Okay, so good thing she's helping out here. She just had surgery not too long ago. She had breast cancer, and so she's pretty amazing. She's doing all this stuff. So, okay. You feeling the water level?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's coming up already.
Okay. So really, this making tamales is a group effort. Don't you agree, Sylvia?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You see.
So she's checking to see how much the water level.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So how much did we use in the pot? Did you check?
Almost the whole thing, really.
Okay. So let's look at the size of the pot.
Yeah.
And it depends on the size of the tamale pot you get. So that's the size of the pot we use, and we didn't quite use all the water, but a good portion of it. So like I said, you might want to, before you do what I did, put all the tamales in there. I think, who suggested that I take them all out? Was that you, Sylvia?
Yes.
Sylvia suggested I take them all out and do that, and I go, I don't think so. Our backs are pretty sore right now. So, okay, so the next thing, what's the next step, Sylvia?
You're going to put the cheesecloth.
Okay, cheesecloth is going on top.
Yeah, just cover them up like that.
My mom used to use, remember when she used dish towels, Sylvia? Those
Yes.
thin cotton dish towels? And I think I did that before too.
Okay, and then you're going to get your leaves.
Okay, and then we're going to take the wet leaves and put them all on top.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm so glad you're here, Sylvia. So now my husband Joey and I are wondering, what are we going to do with all these tamales? We can't eat them all. So we're going to give some to a friend, my friend Madeline, who brought that cookie, that really neat cookie tray the other day. And so, okay, there we go. Sylvia has enough tamales for her party, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. And so we're going to put it on the stove. And so let's go ahead and do that.
Which side are you
We're gonna, how about that? And should we?
Both of them on.
Oh, both of them?
Yeah,
I don't.
because it's a big pot.
Oh, okay. I
And
wouldn't have
that
thought
way
about that.
You need the heat.
Okay, so we're putting on both burners because I didn't even think about
And
that.
you put it like medium.
Oh, because I had a smaller pot before. That's right. That's what my mom used to do. See? Oh, I'm so glad she stopped. I think my mother's in heaven, so my mother passed away when I was 18 a long time ago, so
So you could still
I
have
think
it.
she may have had, this may have been divine intervention here, you know, because she was like, oh no, Maria needs help. Sending Sylvia. So, okay, so we have the big pot over the 2 burners, and it's a good thing it's only 2 burners because only 2 burners work on my stove right now. So you can see that. And how high is the heat, Sylvia?
On yours, I put it at medium.
Okay.
Because on mine, it goes by numbers, and I put it at 4.
All right.
So that's kind of medium.
Okay, and then once the water starts rolling to a boil, then do we lower it?
No, just leave it low, but just kind of don't burn yourself. You put it, you can hear when the water starts boiling in there.
Okay.
And if you think you're running out of water, you can hear it.
Sort of like that little hissing sound, you know?
I had, because it's sealed so good, that I didn't have to add more water.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't have to.
Okay, but when you do add water, let's show that, Sylvia. You just remove the lid
and pour it over.
and pour it all on top
All
right
over,
here.
and it'll just go down.
And it'll sink down. Okay, good deal. And so how long do we leave them on the stove?
2.5 hours.
Are you sure? 2.5 hours?
2.5, and then you take one out and let it cool, because at first, you know, it's really moist.
Kind of doughy
Just
and
let
stuff.
it cool down, and then as soon as when you open it up and the masa comes off the leaves, they're done.
Okay, all right.
Really, you're only cooking the masa. The meat's already cooked.
Yeah, the meat and everything is cooked, so we're cooking the masa, the dough.
Yeah.
Okay, the cornmeal is what it is, the cornmeal. Okay, and so, I mean, I'm using some Spanish because we're just used to these terms, you know, so I never even thought of masa as cornmeal. I never even thought of an hoja as a corn husk, you know, that's so funny. And so, but this is just a big part of our lives. We've made tamales every year. And usually I go to Sylvia's house and help her out, but this year I didn't, and so I decided to make some, and it was fun making them with Joey, and because I get to share how to make them with you guys too. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of water. It's been almost 2 hours since they've been on. It's 10:50, and so we couldn't really hear. We're listening for the hissing sound. Could you hear the hissing sound, Joey?
I didn't hear no hissing sound.
Okay, so anyways, we thought we'd just add a little water, a little bit of hot water. Okay, that looks good. So let's go ahead and put this lid back up on top. And so we're gonna let them cook for like another 40 minutes. Okay, so it's almost midnight and my husband has to get up in a few hours to get ready for work, and you can tell he looks really tired. And I won't turn the camera on myself because I look even worse. So, but he's saying yes. So anyways, are you ready for the tamale test, honey? Okay, so this is our tradition. So you've got to taste the first one. Okay, so let's see if they're done. We've already pulled the first one out and we've let it cool. And there it is. And so here's the fork, honey. Okay, so he's gonna taste test it. How is it? Is it good?
Tastes good.
Does it taste done? Does the masa taste done?
It's almost. I would say another 15 more minutes.
Okay, another 15 minutes. We're going to try another 15 minutes. Okay, so it's about, what, 15, 20 minutes later? And we're going to try again. Oh, I think they're done now. Oh, wow. Look how pretty this one looks. This is what it's supposed to look like. See? It's supposed to peel away. Let me turn the light on right here so you can see. Oh, it's still a little watery there, isn't it?
Well, that's because the stuff came out here.
Oh, and it's hot.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what it's supposed to look like. See how the masa peeled away so easily? And this was also the masa that we were having trouble with. So.
He's better.
A lot better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're done, you guys. So actually it took 3 hours of cooking, and so basically they're just steaming in the pot. And so the tamales are done. Yay! Good job. High five.
High five.
Okay, so I went ahead and turned off both burners, and we're just gonna let these sit in the pot overnight. So I'm gonna put the lid back on, and we'll just let them sit. and then I'll show them to you in the morning. Okay, good night, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.